Have you ever noticed something strange? The biggest regrets people carry are almost never about the mistakes they made. They're about the chances they never took, the business they never started, the dream they kept postponing, the words they never said, the opportunities they watched someone else grab. Years later, they don't lie awake thinking, I wish I hadn't tried. They lie awake thinking, what if I had? Think about that for a second. One decision, one conversation, one risk, one step. Sometimes that's the difference between living a life you chose and living a life you simply accepted. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they never begin. They spend years waiting for confidence, waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect time. But life has never promised perfect timing. The truth is brutal. The clock doesn't care about your excuses. Every day you hesitate, someone else is building the life you keep imagining. Someone else is becoming stronger while you're still making plans. Someone else is taking the opportunities that were available to you. And the worst part, you know exactly what you should be doing. Deep down, you already know. You know that book you keep saying you'll write. You know that business you've been talking about for years. You know that skill you wanted to learn. You know that goal that keeps showing up in your mind every single night. The problem isn't that you don't know. The problem is that comfort has convinced you to stay where you are. Comfort is dangerous, not because it hurts you today, because it slowly steals your tomorrow. It whispers that you can start next week, next month, next year, and suddenly, 5 years have disappeared. You haven't moved, but life has. Here's the reality nobody wants to hear. Doing nothing is also a decision. Avoiding risk is still taking a risk. Every day you refuse to chase your dream, you're choosing the life you'll have if you never do. And one day, you'll have to live with that choice. People spend so much energy trying to avoid failure, but they never stop to ask themselves something much more important. What will it cost me if I never try? Because failure hurts, but regret lasts much longer. Failure teaches. Regret haunts. Failure gives you experience. Regret gives you questions that never get answered. Questions that echo for decades. What if I had started? What if I had believed in myself? What if I hadn't listened to everyone telling me to play it safe? Most people are terrified of looking foolish for a few months, without realizing they'll feel foolish for the rest of their lives because they never even tried. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret follows you into every birthday, every quiet evening, every moment you see someone living the life you once dreamed about. You weren't born to spend your entire life wondering what could have been. You were born to find out what you're actually capable of. But no one could discover that for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not motivation, not luck, only you. So ask yourself one question. If nothing changed over the next 5 years because you stayed exactly the way you are today, would you honestly be proud of that future? Or would it become another regret you'll carry for the rest of your life? If that question makes you uncomfortable, good. Sometimes discomfort is the first sign that you're finally telling yourself the truth. The world has taught you to fear failure more than wasting your life. Think about how backwards that is. People will spend hours thinking about what could go wrong, but almost no time thinking about what could go right. They imagine embarrassment. They imagine rejection. They imagine losing, but they never imagine becoming the person they've always wanted to be. Your mind is powerful. The problem is that most people use it against themselves. Before they even take the first step, they've already convinced themselves they're going to fail. And then they call it being realistic. No, that's not realism. That's fear wearing the mask of logic. You don't need more certainty. You need more courage. Because certainty comes after action, not before it. Look at every successful person you've ever admired. None of them started with guarantees. They started with doubt. They started with fear. They started with people telling them it wouldn't work. The difference is they moved anyway. They understood something most people never do. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a direction. If something scares you because it matters, that's exactly why you should chase it. Stop waiting to feel ready. You will never wake up one morning completely fearless. That day doesn't exist. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding that your future is more important than your excuses. Every excuse sounds reasonable. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm not talented enough. People will judge me. Here's the truth. The world has heard those excuses millions of times. They've never built a dream. They've never changed a life. They've never created success. Excuses feel comfortable because they remove responsibility. The moment you blame your circumstances, you give away your power to change them. Take your power back. Own your choices. Own your mistakes. Own your future. Because no one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you've been dreaming about. No one is going to do your workouts, study for your exams, build your business, learn your skills, or fight your battles. That's your job. And that's what makes your success meaningful. Life rewards people who move, not people who wait. Every single day, you're either building the person you want to become, or you're strengthening the habits that are keeping you exactly where you are. There is no standing still. You're either growing, or you're slowly drifting backward. Ask yourself this. If your younger self could see the way you're living today, would they be inspired? Or would they wonder why you gave up on the dreams you once couldn't stop talking about? That question hurts. But sometimes the truth is supposed to hurt, because pain can wake you up. Comfort rarely does. One decision, one difficult step, one uncomfortable action today can completely change the direction of your life tomorrow. The opportunity is still there. The question is, will you finally stop watching your life from the sidelines? Or will you step into the arena and earn the future you've been talking about? There is something nobody tells you when you're young. Life doesn't usually fall apart all at once. It slips away one excuse at a time. One day you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month quietly becomes another year. And before you realize it, you're standing in the same place while everyone else kept moving. Time is the one thing you can never earn back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose a job and find another. You can lose a competition and train harder. But every hour you waste is gone forever. Read that again in your mind. Gone forever. That's why regret is so painful. It isn't about what happened. It's about what can never happen again. The opportunity you ignored. The risk you refused. The version of yourself you never gave a chance to exist. Some people spend their entire lives protecting themselves from disappointment, only to arrive at old age disappointed in themselves. Don't become one of them. You weren't given this life to simply survive it. You were given this life to test your limits, to discover what happens when you refuse to quit, to find out how far discipline can take you. Most people want extraordinary results, but they're committed to ordinary habits. They want confidence without taking action. They want success without sacrifice. They want respect without earning it. Life doesn't work like that. Everything valuable has a price. Strength costs sweat. Knowledge costs time. Success costs comfort. Greatness costs consistency. The question isn't whether you'll pay a price. The question is which price you're willing to pay. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Because one of them is coming. Choose wisely. Look around you. Every building, every company, every invention, every masterpiece started as an idea inside someone's mind. The only difference between an idea that changes the world and one that dies forever is action. Action is what separates dreamers from achievers. You don't need to know every step. You only need the courage to take the next one. The path becomes clearer as you walk it, not while you're standing still. Stop trying to predict every obstacle. You'll never be able to. Life is unpredictable. That's exactly why it's worth living. The greatest stories were never written by people who played it safe. They're written by people who looked uncertainty in the face and kept moving anyway. You have more potential than your current life is showing. But potential means nothing without effort. Potential that stays and used eventually becomes regret. Talent without discipline becomes wasted talent. Dreams without action become painful memories. Ideas without execution become someone else's success story. So stop measuring your life by your intentions. Measure it by your actions. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't reward what you plan to do. It rewards what you actually did. And years from now, when you look back at this chapter of your life, make sure you can honestly say, I gave everything I had. I didn't let fear make my decisions. I chose action over excuses. And because of that, I truly lived. Let me ask you something. How many versions of your future have you already destroyed without even realizing it? Not because you weren't capable, not because you weren't talented, but because you were too afraid to begin. Fear has robbed more dreams than failure ever will. Failure may knock you down. Fear keeps you on the ground before the fight even starts. That's the difference. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you're making a silent agreement with mediocrity. You're telling your future that today wasn't important enough. But your future is built by what you do today, not by what you promise yourself tomorrow. The people who change their lives aren't superhuman. They get tired. They get discouraged. They get rejected. They doubt themselves. The difference is they refuse to let those feelings make their decisions. Your emotions are real, but they are terrible leaders. If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll spend most of your life standing still. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when every part of you wants to quit. That's where real growth begins. Anybody can work when they're excited. Anybody can chase a dream when everything is going well. But can you keep going when nobody believes in you? Can you keep showing up when the results are invisible? Can you stay consistent when the only person clapping for you is yourself? Because those are the moments that build champions, not the easy days, the lonely ones, the frustrating ones, the days when progress feels impossible. Most people quit because they expect success to feel exciting every day. It won't. Some days will be boring. Some days will feel heavy. Some days you'll question everything. Do it anyway. Your feelings will change. Your commitment shouldn't. Remember this. The life you want is on the other side of the work you're avoiding. Read that again in your mind. The life you want is on the other side of the work you're avoiding. That difficult phone call. Make it. That skill you've been putting off learning. Start today. That business idea you've been protecting from failure. Give it a chance. That dream you've been hiding because you're scared people will laugh. Let them laugh. People who laugh at someone trying usually aren't trying anything themselves. You cannot build an extraordinary life while asking everyone for permission. Some people won't understand your vision. Some people will doubt you. Some people will disappear. When you start changing, accept it. Growth changes your circle before it changes your lifestyle. Stop expecting everyone to come with you. Not everyone is meant to. Your responsibility isn't to make everyone comfortable. Your responsibility is to become the person you're capable of becoming. One day your children, your family, or even a complete stranger may be inspired because you had the courage to act instead of hiding behind excuses. That is the power of one decision. One brave decision can echo for generations. So stop asking whether it's guaranteed to work. Ask yourself something much more important. If I never try, can I really live with that answer? If the answer is no, then you already know what you need to do. Imagine yourself years from now. Your hair has turned gray. Your face tells a story of every season you've lived through. You sit quietly, looking back at the life you created. In that moment, what do you want to see? A life built on courage, or a life built on excuses? Because one day that moment will come, whether you're ready or not. And when it does, you won't care how comfortable you were. You won't care how many people approved of your choices. You won't care how safe you played it. You'll care about one thing. Did I truly live? The saddest sentence a person can ever say is, I wonder what would have happened if I had just tried. Don't let that become your story. You have one life, not two, not 10, one. And every sunrise is another page that can never be rewritten. Stop acting like you have unlimited time. You don't. None of us do. That's why every day matters. Every hour matters. Every decision matters. The people you admire aren't special because life was easier for them. They're special because they refused to surrender when life became difficult. They kept moving when others stopped. They kept believing when others laughed. They kept working when nobody was watching. That's the price of becoming unforgettable. People celebrate the victory. They rarely see the sacrifice behind it. The early mornings, the sleepless nights, the failures, the self-doubt, the moments when quitting would have been easier. Success isn't glamorous while you're earning it. It's repetitive, it's uncomfortable, it's lonely, and that's exactly why so few people achieve it. The truth is simple. You don't become exceptional by doing what's easy. You become exceptional by doing what most people refuse to do. Every difficult choice you make today is building a stronger version of you. Every workout you don't skip. Every hour you spend learning instead of scrolling. Every promise you keep to yourself. Every time you choose discipline over comfort. You're becoming someone your future self will thank you for. Never underestimate small actions. A single decision repeated every day becomes a habit. A habit repeated for years becomes your character. And your character determines your destiny. Stop waiting for your life to change. Be the reason it changes. No one is going to hand you confidence. Earn it. No one is going to hand you respect. Earn it. No one is going to hand you success. Earn it. The world owes you nothing, but it will reward the person who refuses to quit. So, from this moment forward, make yourself one promise. No more hiding behind fear. No more waiting for perfect conditions. No more watching other people live the life you secretly want. This is your life, your opportunity, your responsibility, and your story is still being written. Make sure it's a story worth remembering. One day, people will ask you about your life, not because they care about how comfortable you were, but because they want to know what you stood for, what you fought for, what you refused to give up on. Your story won't be remembered because everything was easy. It will be remembered because you kept going when quitting made more sense. Never forget this. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's refusing to let fear write the ending of your story. You will make mistakes. You will fail. You will lose opportunities. You will face rejection. And that's okay, because every mistake teaches you something. Every failure gives you experience. Every setback builds resilience. Every difficult season prepares you for a greater one. But there is one thing that teaches you nothing. Doing nothing. Playing it safe. Watching your dreams grow old inside your mind. That is a loss you can never recover from. At the end of your life, no one will remember how many times you stayed inside your comfort zone. But you will remember. You'll remember every chance you let slip away. Every dream you abandoned. Every excuse you believed. Don't give your future that burden. Give it something to be proud of. The road ahead won't always be fair. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll feel completely defeated. Keep moving anyway, because consistency beats motivation. Action beats intention. Discipline beats talent when talent refuses to work. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be the most gifted. You don't have to have perfect timing. You just have to refuse to stop. Remember the quote we started with. I'd rather regret the things I've done than regret the things I haven't done. Live in a way that those words become your reality. Take the risk. Make the call. Start the project. Learn the skill. Speak up. Show up. Fight for the life you know you're capable of creating. Because years from now, when you look back, you'll never regret giving everything you had. You'll regret every moment you let fear make your decisions. So don't wait for another Monday. Don't wait for another month. Don't wait for another year. Start today. Start scared. Start small. Start imperfect. But start. Because the future belongs to the people who move while everyone else is still making excuses. And if this message gave you the push you needed today, I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the channel so we can keep growing together. If it spoke to you, leave a like so more people who need this message have a chance to see it. And if you're ready to stop living with regrets, share your commitment in the comments. Tell us what dream you're finally going to chase or what fear you're finally leaving behind. Your words might become the reason someone else decides not to give up today. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Now close this video. Stand up, take the first step, and build a life that your future self will look back on with pride instead of regret.